Hi, welcome back to our three-part series on hardware security modules. In part one, we covered the fundamentals of HSMs, including their core functions, different types, key technical capabilities. Today, we'll take a more operational approach, examine how organizations manage HSMs throughout their life cycle and the best practices for implementation. HSMs follow a structured operational life cycle from initial setup through ongoing management. Let's start with the beginning of the life cycle, initialization. This is where you set up your initial security parameters and master keys. In real world scenarios, this involves a formal key ceremony. Imagine a secure room with multiple authorized personnel present, following a documented procedure. And here are some of the key steps involved. First is a verification of HSM firmware authenticity. Before you install anything, you need to verify that your HSM firmware is genuine. You need to make sure that you use dedicated air-gapped computers for the initial configuration to keep everything secure. Record the entire process on video for audit purposes. This way you have a record of everything that happened. You need to physically verify the serial numbers against your procurement records to ensure everything matches up. Once you are done, apply tamper evident packaging and seals to ensure that no one messes up with the setup. Then you need to distribute authentication credentials to separate custodians so no one person has all the power. Store backup materials in secure safes with dual control access. This means two people are needed to access the materials. Then we are looking at authentication setup. What you need to do is here is to establish practical access control mechanisms and define roles. And here's how organizations typically do it. They align role templates with job functions like operator, backup administrator, and security officer. This helps keep roles clear and organized. You need to implement multi-factor authentication that combines physical tokens, pins, and biometrics. This makes it really hard for unauthorized people to get in. You need to use M of N quorum schemes like requiring 3 out of 5 administrators to prove sensitive operations. This ensures that decisions aren't made by just one person. Distribute the smart cards with credentials to separate departments like IT, security, and compliance. This helps keep access organized. Have your emergency access procedures in place, like break glass protocols for disaster scenarios. This will ensure that you can still get access when you really need it. Integrate with enterprise identity management systems for consistent access control across the organization. Now let's talk about key management. This involves structured processes for creating, backing up, rotating, and retiring your cryptographic keys. And here's how successful organizations do it. Have a well documented key naming conventions and classification schemes. This helps keeps everything organized. Use dual control procedures where separate officers are needed for key generation and approval. This adds an extra layer of security. You need to rotate your keys regularly. We could be looking at quarterly for encryption keys and annually for root keys. This keeps your security fresh. Send automated key expiry notification to administrators, could be 30, 60, and 90 days in advance. This ensures no one forgets when keys are about to expire. Store key backup materials offline in a secure storage. This keeps them safe from unauthorized access. Regularly test key rotation procedures to verify the backup integrity. This ensures that you can recover if something goes wrong. Maintain comprehensive key inventories documenting purpose, algorithm, strength, and owners. During operational use, managing your HSM involves several practical steps. You need to develop secure API integration patterns for applications. This will ensure that your applications interact safely with HSM. Monitor capacity regularly to prevent performance bottlenecks. You don't want your system slowing down unexpectedly. Set up notification systems for failed cryptographic operations. This way, you know immediately if something goes wrong. Configure load balancing for high availability. This ensures your system stays up even under heavy load. Have systematic application onboarding processes with security reviews. This will ensure that new applications are secure from the start. Optimize performance through caching and connection pooling. This will help your systems run smoothly. Regularly update firmware following the change management procedures. This will keep your systems secure and up to date. Use integration testing environments that mirror production configurations. This will ensure that what works in testing will also work in real life. Let's look at auditing and compliance. Effective HSM governance requires rigorous monitoring. And here's what it looks like. Set up real time alerting for suspicious access patterns or usage spikes. This helps you catch potential security issues immediately. Have security personnel review administrative access logs weekly. This will ensure that any unauthorized access is caught quickly. Generate scheduled compliance reports for regulatory requirements. This will keep you on top of the legal obligations. Conduct quarterly entitlement reviews for all HSM administrators. This ensures that access rights are still appropriate. Create custom dashboard views for security operations team. This will help them monitor what matters the most. You need to automate how you reconcile key usage against authorized applications. This ensures that keys are being used correctly. Preserve logs in tamper evidence storage for forensic purposes. This will ensure that the evidence is secure if needed. Regularly conduct pen testing of HSM network environments. This helps identify vulnerabilities before they become problems. Organizations also need to have a comprehensive resilience measures in place. Distribute your backup HSMs across separate data centers geographically. This will ensure that even if one site goes down, you have backups elsewhere. Store your encrypted key backup material securely offline. This keeps it safe from unauthorized access. Use split knowledge procedures for backup material, dividing keys among multiple custodians. This will add extra layer of security. You'll have to maintain cold standby HSMs in secure facilities. This can be quickly activated if needed. Cross train personnel on recovery procedures. This ensures that multiple people know how to recover the systems. Have vendor support agreements with defined response times for hardware failure. This ensures that you get help quickly if something goes wrong. Conduct regular recovery drills simulating primary HSM failure. This will ensure that you are prepared for emergencies. Document recovery time objectives for different failure scenarios. This will help you plan how quickly you need to recover. Now let's look at decommissioning or secure retirement of HSMs. First of all, you need to formally verify that all keys have been migrated to replacement systems. This ensures that nothing is left behind. Complete zeroization using vendor approved procedures only. This ensures that all the data is completely erased. Physically destroy HSM hardware through specialized vendors. This will ensure that no one can recover any data. Document the chain of custody throughout the retirement process. This will ensure that everything is tracked and secure. Obtain a certificate of destruction for compliance documentation. This proves that the HSM was properly decommissioned. Conduct a post decommissioning security assessment to verify no cryptographic materials remain. This ensures that everything is secure. Verify that the decommissioned HSM serial numbers are removed from the asset inventory. This will keep your records up to date. Archive your operational logs and audit records for the required retention period. This will ensure that you have a record of everything that happened. Now let's talk about HSM governance elements. Proper HSM management requires comprehensive governance. You need operational policies that include key ceremony procedures, role assignments, multi person controls, backup schedules, incident response plans, and change management processes. Documentation requirements include maintaining a complete key inventory, access records, audit reports, configuration baselines, recovery materials, and compliance evidence. Comprehensive disaster recovery planning for HSMs should include secure key backup strategies and well documented, regularly tested recovery procedures. This ensures business continuity even during failure or compromise. To maximize the security benefits of hardware security modules, follow these established best practices. Plan your HSM capacity based on peak cryptographic operational requirements. Place HSMs in protected network zones with restricted access. Implement redundant HSMs to prevent single point of failure. Install HSMs in access control monitored environments and establish dedicated management workstations for HSM administration. For operational security, implement multi person control for critical operations. Assign only necessary permissions to each role. Establish and enforce key rotation schedules. Implement real time alerting for unauthorized access attempts. And maintain strict change management for HSM settings. When evaluating potential HSM solutions, consider the FIPS 140-2 or 3 validation level appropriate for your security requirements. You need to have comprehensive support for your required cryptographic algorithms. It needs to have sufficient throughput for your peak processing demands. You need to consider integration capabilities with your existing applications. And you must have very strong capabilities to manage the entire key lifecycle. Organizations that thoroughly evaluate these factors before selection typically experience smoother implementation and fewer security gaps. So, in conclusion, in the second part of our series, we've covered HSM operational lifecycle from initialization through decommissioning, along with implementation best practices. In part three, the final video in our series, we'll explore how HSMs are used in different industries like financial services, public key infrastructure, and cloud environments. We'll also discuss the security professionals' role in HSM management and how HSMs fit into security certification frameworks. Thanks for watching part 2. If you missed part 1 covering HSM fundamentals and technical capabilities, make sure to check that also. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more cybersecurity content. Thank you.